I haven't been watching Rent a Girlfriend this past couple weeks because I've been watching Joe Rogan content. First, I watched the Kanye episode, and then I watched the Alex Jones episode. A lot of content in there. You know, that's 6 hours of.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is a lot. That's how I'll describe it. It's a lot.
I still have not gotten around to watching the Joe Rogan stuff. I think I need to, but also the Alex Jones podcast takes me like 2 to 4 days to get through, just because they're so dense and like all over the place.
Yeah, it's very hard to follow.
Although I heard I think you told me the Kanye one was also hard to follow.
Yeah, I guess it's just like Kanye has this way of speaking where you have to kind of just abandon the way that you think about how conversations work, and you have to just kind of stop thinking about conversation flow and like what the point is. You know, you kind of have to like just get on his level and just follow him. He does what he calls symphonies, which are just rants, and he just kind of goes off on these different things, and he has stream of consciousness. Just anything that comes to mind, he'll just say it. And so he has some kind of interesting ideas and valid points, but then he just kind of just like goes and goes and goes to the point where you can't really like stop to think about what he means. You know what I mean? So it is kind of like by nature of just Kanye West. It's hard to follow. Still love him.
But do you love him as a person or as a rap man?
I've never met him as a person, so I can't really like judge him like that. I just think he's a great dude. He's great. I technically made a political contribution because I bought his Kanye, like vote for Kanye merch.
Oh?
Yeah. It's pretty nice. I mean, it's like there's a double layered hoodie. It's literally 2 hoodies. And I got it in the mail. And I like the second I lifted it and it was just like 5 pounds. I was like, oh fuck, I forgot I live in Arizona now.
Yeah.
Like this is useless. How was your Halloween?
It was good. Jimmy on his Discord server set up like a Halloween party thing, like a remote Halloween party.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It was like 12 of us.
What does that entail? What does one do on a virtual Halloween party?
He basically set up like a series of events. Like we started with Jackbox, which I'm going to talk about later.
Yeah.
And then there was like a period. Then I like dipped because I had to walk dog, and that's when I took that recording. And then they played Plasmophobia or Valorant. And then when I got back, we played Among Us. And then after that, we played the new Jackbox, which is actually what I'm going to talk about. Nice. And then we were supposed to watch a movie or something, but I was at that point very tired, and it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. So it's like, all right, well, I'm going to go die now. Bye.
Yeah. Very cool. We had a real thing, but it wasn't 12 people. It was only it was 3 of our friends came over, and we just got food and drank alcohol.
Did you guys carve pumpkins?
No, we Synovia and I carved pumpkins like a week ago. At this point, we went to a little place on the side of the road that just had a bunch of pumpkins, so they seemed like the best place to go. So we did those like a week ago, and they're all moldy and gross now. Like if you open up the top of them, they're furry. They're like black and furry. So we got to get rid of those. But it's only been like 6 days. It's kind of impressive.
What'd you guys carve?
What do you mean? Like, what did we put into the pumpkins, or what type of pumpkins did we put stuff
I only think there's 2 kinds of pumpkins, but so what did you like put on in the pumpkins?
Go to this fucking place, dude. Well, I guess you can't this year. You'll get them next time. But there's like white pumpkins. There's like a pinkish pumpkin. There's regular pumpkins. There's very small pumpkins. There's so many. There's like they're all squash. I don't know what defines a pumpkin, like what constitutes a pumpkin, but they had like several pumpkin types.
Oh, snap.
Different colors. Yeah. You're talking to the pumpkin expert right now.
The Pump King, if you would.
Bring it back to Pump King.
Oh, that's that. Oh, yeah.
I bought a pair of Jordans yesterday on the Nike sneakers application. That pair of Jordans is on. Are you familiar with the app Goat?
No.
Goat. Anyway, they do resale for clothes, or I think they just do. Yeah, they're a consignment place basically, right? So you take things there and then anyway. So it's all resale stuff. The shoes I just bought Friday, are now selling for twice that much on Go. In 2 days, the price doubled. Oh. It's insane. I'm going to wear them because that's what I'm going to do. But it's just crazy how shoes work like that, you know?
You know, I never would have thought that shoes would be like an investment like gold.
They're a terrible investment. If you're just doing it, I mean, like, okay, if you have the ability to basically cheat the system and get several pairs of the really rare stuff, then you are like killing shoes. Because basically anybody who would really want this thing, like genuinely want it, a real fan base who wants like a limited item, can't get it because they're basically being fucked over by bots, people with sneaker bots. Mm-hmm. And you know, they kind of just have to pay the resale price of all these people who then basically determine the price of the resale market because they own all the shoes, you know, the people who fucked over the whole thing. So that's like the only way to really be successful is to be one of those guys. But to be one of those guys is to ruin everything that like the whole thing is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To be an asshole.
Yeah, it's like if you can cheat the system, then you get the most reward, but like don't cheat the system. You know? That's basically the summary.
Yeah.
But investing in shoes is a bad thing. Well, I mean, not a bad thing. Like, it's probably a good idea if you are looking for actual rare stuff. Like, there's a pair of M&M Jordans that are worth like thousands of dollars because they're so limited. Like, they were never really sold to people. It was like a friends and family thing. Mm-hmm. What else? The like original collaboration between the Jordan brand and any other brand was a brand called I just had it. Undefeated. So it was the Undefeated Jordan 4s, and they were like this camo green and orange type thing. But since that was the first ever Jordan collaboration, those things go for like over $20,000. So, or like a pair of Red Octobers, the Kanye West sneakers that he had with Nike. They were the Yeezy 2s, and they had basically been like delayed, and there was no release date. And then one day they just went up for sale on Nike.com, and they sold out within 13 minutes with like no announcement. They just came up after like a year of being announced and sold out. And so those go for like 5,000 to 6,000 worn, like not even new. Those have been on someone's feet. Yeah. Sneakers are crazy, but it's such a hard thing to estimate because a lot of the time it'll be cool shoes that aren't hyped, so they don't actually even sell out, and then hideous shoes that have like terrible colors, terrible like everything, and are way overpriced will sell out in minutes because it's just the hype. Yeah.
God damn. That's crazy.
The Jordans I like because they're brown. They're black and brown Jordan 1s. And I just like that color scheme. But then when I saw the resale price, I was looking at why, like the description. And it's because last year Travis Scott put out basically a shoe that looks just like it, but the swoosh is backwards. And it was like the Cactus Jack 1s or something. And they look basically identical to this except the swoosh, right? And so the whole description was because these look like those shoes, that's why these are highly coveted and whatever. It's like, holy shit, they're just brown and black Jordan 1s. It's crazy, you know?
Yikes, dude. Holy moly.
Yeah. It's all interesting though, you know?
I don't think I could ever get into sneakers in that way.
Getting into sneakers is such an interesting thing because like you can get into sneakers and just like them for them. You don't even have to follow any of this shit. If a shoe is sold out, you don't have to care, you know? You can buy a bunch of New Balance and be cool, you know? Mm-hmm. But no, you don't have to be cool. My point is that you can be good, you know what I mean? Like you can just be into shoes however you want to be into shoes.
I think everyone's at least casually into shoes in that way then. I don't know many people who are like barefoot for life, son.
I don't know about being anti-shoe, but I'm saying there are people who don't really care so much about shoes the same way a lot of people don't care so much about their car. I would consider myself one of those. It's like as long as it gets me where I'm going. These people can be like, oh, well, I go to, you know, I get my shoes from, you know, Goodwill or whatever. Not to like shit on that, but you know what I mean? It's like people who maybe don't care. They'll just get like literally anything that's not demolished. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That makes sense. And then in high school / middle school, there's always the people who are like, I've been wearing these Converse for so long, you can see my toes in them. You're just like, ugh.
It's like, get new shoes.
Yeah.
I can smell your foot through your shoes.
No.
Disgusting.
No.
If you're like 12 years old, that's for sure a problem.
I think even as an adult, if you just got sweaty feet, it could be a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I've either become nose blind or it was way worse when I was a young teen, you know. But I think I'm fine. My feet
I think
are
we
fine.
gotta ask Zenobia then.
Probably.
Just call her in, see if she'll take a whiff of your foot and tell us not. Please do not let her do that on camera.
Episode 55, the foot special.
The beginning of the foot fetish era.
Yeah, we got a plan for this content, so it'll be next week. We'll talk about Unity and foot things.
Foot things. All right.
Foot simulations in Unity.
Christ.
Yeah. I used to do dumber shit on the internet than this.
There really used to be dumber stuff. I think there is still dumb stuff. It's just so niche and like hard to find now.
Yeah, I see a lot of discussion, like analysis videos of the state of YouTube and stuff like that from YouTubers, and they'll talk about like, you know, everybody wants it to be a business and no one really makes just kind of original style YouTube videos. And I think to some extent that's true, because in the beginning it was like, there's no real visible corporation behind this. You know, it's just like a thing where I can go upload videos and I'm going to put, you know, me punching my brother in the face on this thing because it's funny. And then over time it becomes like this crazy thing where they have like a premium subscription service where you can watch TV through it, and people who are at the top of YouTube make like millions and millions of dollars and have merch and stuff and are basically celebrities. This whole thing became so crazy, so I guess it makes sense that it's really hard to find people who are just like, fuck it. I'm not trying to be an influencer or whatever.
I'm just trying to write Sanic and Kroby.
Yes, yeah. And it's cool that, you know, they still allow it and all that kind of stuff. I mean, the content ID thing where it's like, yeah, you can't make money off of it if there's someone else's stuff in it, which makes sense. But you can't just, you know, upload movies, which I'm pretty sure you could for a time. They would be taken down eventually.
But the B movie was up for a long time, I can tell you that much. It even became a meme.
Yeah. The only
B-movie,
good movie.
But every time they say X, or every time something occurs, they increase the speed. It became like a really big thing.
Yeah, that was a big meme for like a week, and then it was like, all right, let's move on.
I think it peaked when the dude was like, "This is just the actual B movie. Watch it really quick before it gets taken down." I think that was like the high point of that, because like, what do you do after that point? It's like we literally like sped the movie up, and then at some point they were like, "Nah, this is just actually the movie." Like,
it's so crazy. You remember how knowyourmeme.com? Are you familiar with Know Your Meme?
Oh yeah.
At the beginning of maybe like 2008, 2009, right? Kind of seeing the like big impact font memes, like good guy Greg, fucking foul bachelor frog, I guess is like one of the first ones I can remember.
God, I hated that one.
Yeah, but there was that website talking about the history of memes, and I thought it was so ridiculous at the time. I was like, wow, what a useless thing. Like, no one needs to read about the history of foul bachelor frog. It's a picture of a frog. It has a certain whatever. But then memes started to move so fast, and like meme culture became a thing to actually look at historically. Like, Know Your Meme became an actual valuable thing in today's world. Like, memes didn't go away.
I need that one to explain memes, because if I'm not on as many, like I'm not on like Instagram and Twitter really regularly, and like I'm not on Tumblr or anything like that. So if like and I'm not even on like a lot of Reddit. I'm like in really like niche things on Reddit, and then I hit the random button. Yeah. So if I ever run into a meme that I don't know, it's like I have to go there to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and especially now, I think that TikTok has like aged us out of popular social media. You know, it's like we kind of need Know Your Meme. It's like our library for us to figure out what the kids are doing. It's like Urban Dictionary or something.
Yeah. Well, like Twitch is the one I'm actually forgetting. That like Twitch moves so fast with their memes, like Pepe hands and like all that stuff, like just explodes, and everyone's like, haha, poggers, and you're like, what is that? I still don't have like a firm grip on poggers, to be honest.
I'm never on Twitch, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not really super into streamer culture, so.
Yeah, but the point is, there are resources for you to find information about these very weirdo internet subcultures.
Yeah. I would also have to clarify a point on something I said in the previous podcast, that I don't like VTubers, and I wasn't really sure why. I think what I don't like about VTubers is, like, I feel like it's a precursor to some Black Mirror shit. Like,
I think you mentioned that.
Oh,
You said it was like some Black Mirror shit. I think you made your point that it was, from my perspective, it seems like you were saying the dehumanization of like real humans, and then other humans on the other side being willing to do something like, in your words, simp for an anime girl who is not real.
Yeah.
Is like a like sad portrayal of our times.
Yeah.
And is not maybe improving us. Some might say degeneracy.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I just think, you know
I
what I
think
mean?
it makes sense. Listen, I think it makes sense for the creators to want to do it, because it's like a good identity protection thing. And if you're a lady who's gonna like try to make it big on the internet, that's probably like a good thing to have. And then it makes sense that all the crazy people are like, VTubers are great, and that's probably like a really niche, great market for them. Like, it makes sense, like, capitalistically. It's just like morally, I think I'm opposed to it.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably, I don't know, it gets into the whole thing of like, you know, who are you to say that fucking an anime girl in your dreams is not okay, you know? I would also agree, but like, I'm not going to go up to a weirdo. I'm not going to go up to some weirdo watching VTubers like passionately like that and say, hey, don't do that. I mean, they're not hurting anybody, you know? Whatever.
Yeah.
As long as, okay, but what if they lose VTubers?
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, okay.
VTuber?
Like, what if VTubers are made illegal by President Yazeed? Are they just gonna fucking lose their minds, or are they just gonna be like, oh shit, time to get a 401k? You know, the point is that
know.
there's like, they're weirdos.
Yeah, that's the problem though. Is I feel like it's a congregation of weirdos, and they just become weirder.
It's not even weirdos. I mean, like, compare us to someone, you know, 50 years ago or whatever. It's like, oh, these guys type for a living. Look at the one in the blue. This man is clearly eating too much. You know what I mean? It's like, we're just like, we are the like degenerates to them.
Why is this brown man incapable of owning anything?
Yeah, sure, whatever, right? Like, I'm saying 50 years ago, we looked like I guess the weirdos by comparison to them, right? Like, we stay inside. Well, I stay inside at least the majority of the day. You know, we have chairs that look like race cars, and we don't know anything about racing. We're like the fucking dweebs. And then now we're like, oh, look at those dweebs over there. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever.
That's true. Like I said, it makes total sense. I think I'm just opposed to it. And I don't know if I will ever not be opposed to it.